How's it going again, guys? I'm just back here with another TMNT toy review. These are actually some of the ones I got from my brother for Christmas. I got these 4 turtles. I've been looking at them. I've heard they're pretty good. I did also get this for Christmas. I got it along with the Studio Series Galvatron from the movie. I'll be doing a size comparison next to Galvatron later. But these are 4 turtles I've been really looking forward to. They are kind of like a re-rendition of kind of the ones from last year or a few years ago that had the 80s turtles. These are like the 88 turtle design that from the classic toy. You can see there's a bunch of color and skin differences, texture differences, but I've been saving these for the past day, waiting for the proper time I can get in here, get hands-on, and give you guys a good review. So we'll probably start with Leo, getting him out of the box. I will use this nice Olympian knife, Karambit Olympian knife that I'll be using to carefully cut open these boxes. I do keep my boxes, I keep them in little storage containers, so I'm using this beautiful thing to open these bad boys up with. Let's crack them open. Okay, so right at the start there, we did see this bad boy fall out. It appears he's not held in by anything, but the rest of this seems to be kind of held in by some tape or just pushed in a plastic mold there. They do come with this new kind of special weapon, and they each come with a display kind of plate. Maybe that's a tab in for the feet. I don't know yet, but if you see on the back of the box here, all 4 of them do come with like a quick little plate that they can stand on. It does not look like that. This is a display plate here for Leonardo, so it looks like they do just stand. So let's get them out and let's get the accessories all nice and laid out. So here is all the accessories that Leonardo comes with. He's got this extra new kind of weapon. They said is a aggressively styled signature weapons. I think those might be, they're either referring to this one or they might be referring to this one here. He comes with the little kind of glass top that he has in the on the little roof part there, and then he has this kind of wiry thing that's also part of the roof, and then these are his 2 ninja stars, which many of you remember being these orange kind of stars. That's what I remember too, and then 2 extra weapons that he gets all along. It's like 3 sets of weapons, but maybe these 2 are a bit more different, so maybe just 2 sets and then 2 extras. So this all looks really good. The plastic feels good, doesn't feel like any bad quality plastic, so we'll get it out on the we'll get Leonardo out in front of us here and check him out. Okay, so my first in-hand impressions of Leonardo were actually very good. He feels like a very sturdy, like as soon as I took him out of this plastic here, I noticed that immediately that he felt like a very sturdy figure. Head's a little hard to move. It seems like it's just on a swivel, maybe a small ball joint, I'm not sure. But the arm swivels. Doesn't seem to want to go past about here, but it is a full 360 all the way around. His arms, his hands do not open. They are molded like that, and then he looks like he has a decently high kick for posability and a rotated ankle and no ankle pivot, but I really like this design of turtles. I wish we could get to see these more often. And to go to a stand really quick, this window does not appear to tab in anywhere. It looks like it just sits there at the back, unless you hang it over the edge or something. I'm not too sure, but it does not appear to tab in anywhere there. But yeah, Leonardo looks really good. Let's get him set up with his accessories, and let's get these other 3 turtles out. All right, next up we have Raphael. He is slowly becoming one of my new favorite turtles. My favorite turtle growing up was Michelangelo because of his nunchucks, but my new favorite is slowly becoming Raphael. I do very, very much like Leonardo as well. These turtles so far are turning out to be really good. I really, really like the texture and everything on these guys, but let's move on to Raphael here. Let's get him out of the box, and I'm just gonna display it all out since I showed myself getting Leonardo out already. But if you guys would like to see me do every box, if I get another set of turtles, please let me know. Let's get him all laid out. Here's Raphael out of the box. Looks like he's laid out with his classic size, this double-sided hammer, some classic stars, a chimney piece, his roof, looks like some pizza on the roof, the ladder set for like a fire escape on the roof or maintenance ladder, these 2 sharp new weapons, and the figure himself. I'll get his accessories all laid out first. We'll talk about them a bit, and then we'll get the figure out. And here are Raphael's accessories that he has, aside from the roof ones. We'll look at those in a sec, but yeah, it comes again with just 2 stars, his signature weapons, which I really like. They are not bent or thin like the last set I got. They feel good in my hands, and this hammer, double-sided hammer, that is a bit bent out of the box. So, and then the other 2 kind of new weapons, and then his roof accessories just over here, which are a kind of chimney sort of and a ladder, which we'll get assembled on after. But I think next we will look at the figure himself. And here we have the Raphael figure in our hands. I will say so far on these 2, the weapon storage is very, very nice. We do have on the Leonardo figure, we do have the overlapping swords. So your plastic it's a very bendable plastic, so it may get bent around there. Be careful not to bend too much. But yeah, he's got this kind of holder on the back that pops out nicely. I'm sure it can be exchanged for this other one, and it can. Fits very nicely, both of them. But this one I feel like is the one that it was primarily made for. But the figures feel great. I love the paint on them. I like the new texture. On this figure, especially the elbows, be careful. They do give a lot of tension right here, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's not enough room here for the arm to flex down more. So don't try to bend them too far, but the legs can bend like that at the front. Looking very, very good. I do notice a bit of a kind of paint chip there on my Raphael, but otherwise the paint looks really good. The detailing, the molds all feels good. Let's get these other turtles out of the box and take a good look at them all. Next up, we chose to check out Michelangelo here. I see he's got kind of, I think all the floors there are the same. They just come with these different pieces. These all look pretty much about the same inside here, so, but this is what he looks like just outside of the box. And I feel like we'll get him out in his backdrop and get his accessories out in front for you. Here are all of Michelangelo's accessories out here in front of it. Me, I do like that the nunchuck have the real chain on them. That is always a nice touch. He also comes with these and kind of a new looking weapon. Looks really nice actually. Very nicely detailed, very nicely painted. And then we get the kind of satellite dish piece as well as a roof vent that none of these tab in, by the way. They're all just rest-ons, so it makes for, if you're moving, if you're gonna, you know, these are on a shelf on roller wheels, you might want to take these off because they'll just slide around and fall off. So we get that set up there and get the figure out with some of his accessories on. Here is Michelangelo in hands. Feels good, just like the rest of them. He's got the same posability as the rest of them. And there's rocking storage in the back. Not what I was expecting. It is very, very hard to get these into here. I had a struggle getting the first one, this one in, and I thought I could push them more through as I'm trying now, but I really don't want to break anything off, so I'm just leaving them resting on the handles just because the handles are as you can see, a bit smaller than these kind of laced parts that go over top. So maybe we'll be posing them on there, or maybe I'll pose something else. So let's take a quick look at his face here. You see that his teeth here are painted one on the other side. He does not have any teeth painted or even modeled, and I guess on the box it shows that they're not really there either, but maybe it would have been nice just to have a little white paint or something like that there, but this makes sense. So other than that, the figures are good. Let's move on to the last figure here. I will be talking about all their different colors later, but let's move on to the last figure. Last but certainly not least, we have Donatello. All kind of the same that we've seen 3 times before. This was not held in. I did open it up of the box and it did just kind of fall out, as you just see. So put that to the side. Actually, we'll put all this to the side, get the accessories out to look at, and then we'll get the figure and the base and everything with, and we'll get all 4 of them together. Last thing here are all of Donatello's accessories. We get his bow staff, which is actually very quite bendy, which was nice getting it out of the packaging, but this is the thing I was the most worried about taking out of the package, because I thought, because of how bent up this other plastic was, these other plastic accessories, like how they can get, especially just these ones and the hammer. I was very worried about the bow staff being bent, but it is not. It looks very perfect. And since he has the least amount of accessories, we'll just get Donatello out right here. Well, he doesn't have the least amount, but I just feel like, I actually do feel like he does have the least amount, because he has just the staff with these 2 different types, and then his new weapon. Well, you know, Michelangelo, Raph, and Leo all have 2 of the same weapon. They all have a set, except for Donnie. So Donnie, first impressions, feels good. The color is not what I would choose. I would choose kind of a closer to the TV show, if anything, kind of like the 80s TV show kind of color scheme than the brown. But it helps, definitely helps give each character, you know, their own personality too. It seems like he's got the kind of the same head as Michelangelo here, just kind of inverted with maybe slightly bigger eyes, because he does not have the teeth paint here either. But we'll get these, all four of these bases kind of connected, posed up for a final kind of review message. Okay, here are all four of our turtles out here. Get a nice close-up look at them. I think this set is just perfect. All four turtles look great all together. Even just if you set one aside and stand it alone, they all look good. The only real complaint that I do have is kind of the browny skin that's on this turtle. I feel like just they could have put a little bit more green into Donnie here. And maybe a little bit more purple actually, because this is kind of just navy blue here. But other than that, it's a great solid figure, great just like the rest. All their shells are black. I would have liked to see kind of them save the brown paint for maybe more like that, but other than that, there are no real complaints. If you check this video out, thank you very much. We'll be doing more Ninja Turtle stuff in the near future. Hopefully get my hands on a Mirage set to look at, so we will see you guys all in the next one.